Good afternoon, everyone. How are you feeling? Ladies, how are you feeling? This is your month, right? Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Do you feel happy to be a woman?
Yes.
You know, everybody wants to be a woman these days because, you know, being a woman is the most amazing thing. But thank you so much for taking the time to spend this great afternoon with us. We are celebrating Global Money Week, and it goes with Women's Month. And you know women are the best banks anyway, right? We know how to keep the money safe. My name is Rumbi Moyo, and I will be sharing this conversation for this afternoon. And it's all about getting better with our money, and it's all about digital finance and money talk. So we have to be smart about money, we have to be wise, and especially during this Global Money Week, it's so important for us to get to understand how we can start saving, how we can start being smarter with our money. And before we begin, just to give you a few housekeeping guidelines, if you'd like to use the ablution facilities, you can turn to the left. Right as you get to the corner, make another left, and you'll see a green door. Go down that little alleyway. To your right, there is a gray door. I hope that's clear. Left, green door, gray door. You won't get lost. You can also go all the way to the cafe, and they'll be able to show you where the facilities are. But as we kick off our program for this afternoon, I'd like to welcome the brains behind this great event. She's been doing it for quite a while. She's dedicated, she's passionate about smart money. She wants your money to really make sense. She is so great at helping people get out of debt, manage their debt, and start to actually build up a savings. And she's been working on the My Money project, and her name is Nyaradzo. So Miss Nyaradzo Chauruba.
Thank you so much, and welcome. Welcome. It's just good to see all of you guys, and I hope I'll be able to say hello, greeting before the day ends. But because we are slightly behind time, I'm just going to go straight into my presentation. But why we are here today is really about the digital finance inclusion. Something called digital finance inclusion. Maybe you've heard financial inclusion, you've heard digital financial inclusion. So all of these things, they're just speaking to the fact that we need to be a part of what's going on, right? So let me just briefly introduce myself and my money project. So I am Nyaradzo and very passionate about financial literacy, as Ruby has just said. My money project is an initiative which I started 6 years back. We'll be celebrating 6 years in October this year. And the main aim being to just educate one another about our personal finances. I'm an accountant by profession. Some of you know chartered accountants. And so what that means, sometimes people think accountants know it all when it comes to money. But I struggled a lot with my own personal finances. I ended up in a debt trap at some point. I was over borrowed. My life was in a mess, and at some point my husband also left his job, and they say for better, for worse. I was combining his debt and my debt, so that was very overwhelming. And so when I finally came out of this, or when I discovered that there was actually a component missing in my education, because remember, a CA is the highest qualification you can get in the accounting field, right? But I was so unlearned when it came to my own personal finances. And it's the same thing. Today here we have different occupations represented. We have people in the humanitarian sector, we have doctors in the making, we have engineers, we have all sorts. But if we all look back, we were taught maths. It's very important to know maths, English and science, but nobody really bothered to teach us, when I earn my first salary, what do I do with that money? So for me, that became my drive. All I am for now is how can we help each other manage the financial resources that you have? So that is really my money project in summary. As we go along, some of you are part of my channels, we've been learning together, but as we go, you will discover more of who I am and what the project is all about. And coming back to Global Money Week, this is an event that was initiated by OECD. It's an international organization, and in Zimbabwe, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is behind it. So we are rallying behind the Reserve Bank to make sure that no one is left behind. They are pushing for access, and access is all about accessing the different financial platforms that are around. We may feel that, I think maybe we are the learned ones, so we are probably included. But I want to tell you, I want to tell you about my first trip to the US. When I went to the US, that's when I learned that, oh my goodness, I was digitally, financially excluded. Because when I got there, my trip, how I had planned for it, I put cash, I put money in my account. I have a Stanbic account, so I put money in my account. And this money was just for my accommodation. I was like, at least if anything happens, I know my accommodation is sorted. So that is the money that was in my card. And then I withdrew the rest. I said, I would rather move around with my cash. Because once burnt, twice shy, we all know that. And I have had experiences where my money just vanished in the bank account. So I was like, no, I'll hold on to my cash. So I got to the airport. And in the US now, the trolleys, you have to pay for that trolley. It's not for free like here where you just grab a luggage trolley in the airport. And for you to pay for it, you needed a credit card. I didn't have a credit card. I had cash. So what did I do? Because everyone is busy doing whatever they're doing. I had to just drag along my bags like that. It was, you can imagine if you have heavy bags. So it was quite burdensome. Moving on to that, I had to get the Uber or a taxi to go to the hotel where I was staying. And guess what? I needed a credit card again to go on this Uber. And there I was, I didn't have. So I ended up having to buy what I called, they call it a Walmart card. It's like a voucher, a gift card. So for $95, you have to pay $100, just so you are able to swipe and use the banking details. But at that point, I felt so excluded. I felt like I was not part of the financial system. I hope you get what this is all about. And so now coming back, we may think, no, we've figured it out. Zimbabwe is unique. It's a whole different environment, this one. But when you go beyond the borders of Zimbabwe, you will see how far behind we are. And so what we're just saying is, in this moment, let us learn whatever it is that we're going to learn. I want to appreciate our sponsors, Mukuru, who's here. Thank you so much for coming. We have EcoCash, we have All Money, and we have all of you guys who are here. So I want to genuinely appreciate you. But getting into my presentation, which will not be very long, financial exclusion, as I've already said, is the inability of individuals to access and use digital financial services. And I've been defining what financial services are, the digital financial services. If you go back to the countdown from when we started, you will see this one. But why it matters, why financial exclusion matters, why are we even talking about it? Because it limits access to banking, payments, loans, investments. It slows economic growth because when you prosper, the whole country will prosper. So it's not about individuals alone prospering. You making Zimbabwe, you being a part of Zimbabwe makes the Zimbabwean economy grow. And financial exclusion increases poverty and inequality. That is why we should not be happy with exclusion. And the key causes, of course, would be mainly due to low digital literacy. I'm not going to look at everything else, but that is one key component. relate because, as I told you, being an accountant myself, there are some things that I was never taught. I was taught to manage millions of dollars for organizations, but when it came to my own personal finances, no one had told me. Who is the most affected? They are vulnerable groups, and these, even our Reserve Bank has been talking about these, and their emphasis is there. And I believe this month, they are focusing on the rural areas. Gladys, you can tell me, where are they again? Reserve Bank, they say they'll be somewhere in the remote areas of Zimbabwe. Because the rural communities are the most vulnerable. Our elderly population, if we look just across this room, I don't think any one of us is above 60, but those people are being excluded. They are supposed to be here. Women and youth, informal sector workers, and low-income individuals. But why you are here today is because after this, you become an advocate of financial inclusion. The consequences of exclusion, I did talk about them, but primarily it is access. When you're excluded, then there is no access to all of these things that we talk about. But how can we then bridge the gap? We are to become advocates. Advocacy around policy and digital infrastructure improvement. We will hear more about what is happening at this point. But improving financial literacy, you will become capable of teaching others safe digital finance use, right? And we can go on. I think I should share this slide so that you don't miss out on anything and then you don't write too much. But how else we can bridge that gap is to support the innovations around financial inclusion. If there's a business which is making use of digital finance platforms, let's use it. Let's not be the ones who say, don't you want cash instead? Because Zimbabwe is big on cash. Even to buy a house, you need cash. They'll say, come with cash. And you're getting $1,000 from the bank every day. How long do you take to pay? So we need to become advocates. And these policymakers, as they change policies, they will engage you guys. They'll come to the universities, they'll come to your workplaces. So now you know that when they come, we want to push for this, right? And that being my call to action. Let's educate and advocate. Let's raise awareness about digital finance benefits. Let's adopt it, Let's use the secure and accessible products that are there. Let's engage our policymakers. As I said, before they pass any bill or things like that, they will come to us and we will be better equipped. Life is so much easier with digital finance. And I want to use this illustration, and I hope, Rosa, you don't mind. But, I got money from Mukuru, and do you know how I got it? I just received a voucher on my phone, and I passed through Chisipiti when I go home. And as I'm going, there's actually a Mukuru drive-through. Did you guys know that? I passed through the drive-through. You don't come out of your car, and they just ask for your ID and the voucher number, and they give you your money. That was so simple, right? So digital finance, it makes life so much easier. And this is just an example I'm giving. But in conclusion, because I never want to leave without quoting the word of God, from Luke chapter 16, verses 10 to 11, this is an easy version of the Bible. It says, if you can trust a person with a very small thing, you can also trust him with bigger things. And if you cannot trust a person with a very small thing, then you cannot trust him with big things. So if people cannot trust you with money in this world, nobody will trust you with really valuable things. In other words, money is the list of things. Do you get my point? I know we spend a lot of time and it's so stressful and all of these things as though it is the all in all. But money is the little thing. And if you are tested on money and you cannot pass the test of money, then you will not be able to pass any other test. Even the test of leadership. If we are to test how many here are good leaders, we start off by asking how many can manage their finances. If you can't manage your finances, then you are definitely a bad leader. But this is just me quoting this in conclusion. Otherwise, I want to thank you. Please take note of this number. It will give you more access to, welcome guys, there are seats in front here, there are some here. But this will give you access to other platforms. We have the Instagram platform, we have the YouTube. Right now, we are live streaming on YouTube, and I hope people can hear us. The link I shared earlier on, people are watching on YouTube, because our room, as you can see now, very limited. That's why I said, please don't keep sharing. But thank you so much for making it. So I am done. We will interact after this one. Back to you, Ruby.
Thank you very much, Nyari, and really exciting. So how many of us have passed the test of money? Just a show of hands. This is a very safe space. We will listen, we will see you, we will not judge you. Right?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Nyari, and really, really inspiring. Just thing to emancipate us from always thinking we have to have money in our hands. Thank you very much, Nyari. At one point I thought you were going to be a preacher. We were thinking let's do an overflow. People, come through. Thanks so much. Right now I really want us to give space to our keynote address for today. We are getting it from Mr. Gerald Nyaradzo Nyakawa. He is passionate, just like Nyari and all of us, about money and financial inclusion, and he's extremely good in helping in fintech and startups. So if you're one of those people, you're sitting in this room and you're saying, I want to start something. He's very good at that and supporting people with that. He's helped, organizations, EcoCash to grow, and Sprint and GSM Association, and currently he is head of digital and alternative banking at Money Mart Finance. He is an amazing guy, and obviously he's going to share with us some of these great lessons that we need to learn about money and how to become smarter with our money. A round of applause for him as he comes through to teach us the path to financial freedom. Thank you.
Actually surprised you're talking about me. Thank you guys. We all want to be women, but one interesting thing about women is they choose to have their women month in a month called Kurume. I don't know how is that possible. With the nature of women, in a month of Kurume we have our women month. Why did you do it in February? Cards. Anyway, I'm happy to be here and to be sharing with you guys. I think the good thing about the ages that I'm seeing here, you have started interacting with phones even when you were in your mother's womb, which is different from us. I think myself and Dad is probably maybe Nyari. We only got to know about phones in 97, isn't it? 99. Yeah, 99. 97 it was Net 1, and those ones were the Chimbet ones, where it was only the few guys who were in government and the few guys who were also rich. But when Econet came, that's when we started interacting with phones. But for you guys, probably your first, what do you call that one when you go for scan? Ultrasound. I think it was actually sent on your mother's phone. So what I'm going to do here is I just want to give you a brief background of the journey that we have moved as a country in the digital finance space. I think we all appreciate that Zimbabwe is like Nyaro was saying, we're in a unique economy, and things that we think are bad, like hyperinflation, they are bad, of course. But on the digital finance side, they actually encourage innovation. Because the moment you refuse to move around with cash, you're thinking, what else can I use? Can I use Ukuru? Can I use EcoCash? Can I use Omar? And you become comfortable. So I'll walk you through the journey. By the way, I'm an economist. I know nothing about IT. Wow. You see, like I said, I'm not an IT person. It's just that I have display mode. Thank you, man. So the reason why we are here is to think about our money, how we're going to use it, how we're going to interact with it. Nyari has gone deep into that, but my side of the story is digital. There are advantages of using digital. I think we've all experienced, we're paying with all these, yeah. You could now use a wallet, isn't it? Yes. Instead of you going through your drive-through, you can actually, we call it termination, into your wallet, isn't it? You see, so you don't need to waste your fuel. Just put it in your wallet and transact. So there are advantages that we see when you're using digital, but there are also disadvantages. If you're an impulsive person, you see something on social media, you're already, let me buy. I have Kuru card, I have Omar, they all have cards, these guys. Your Visa and MasterCard. I know EcoCash is MasterCard, Omar is Visa, isn't it? Yours is, Kuru is Visa as well. It's coming. Okay, that's fine. These are the disadvantages. We get exposed to things and we have the liquidity to pay, but what we also need to appreciate now is we need to think about saving. I think this is what Nyari was talking about. I think even the theme in itself, who is it here? What does it say? Who remembers the theme? Yes, for the Global Money Week. Think before you what?
You follow.
And the next one, wise money tomorrow. So the decisions that you make today will affect you tomorrow. So now Nyaris is here saying, when you are making those decisions, be careful. Do you start by saving or do you start by spending? What is the priority? Do you save what you left or you what did you say? Do you save what is left or you spend what is left? Sorry? Did you hear that? You spend what is left after saving. That's what they're saying. The wise money tomorrow. So digital, we're talking about mobile money. For you guys, if you take away mobile money, monitor strike me. Sorry for those that don't have the station. We will have another 31 March. I don't know what's going to happen. Because you're born in the era where mobile is the currency, isn't it? So the journey started in 1997 when we had our first mobile money, mobile network operator, that was Net One. So here I'm going to talk about the revolution, not the evolution. Evolution was 97. But the revolution actually started in 2011 when EcoCash was launched. But I'm not saying there was also Silcard from Kingdom, there was Kwama from Kingdom again, and there are many others. But this was the revolution for me. Maybe I have a bias because I was there. See, we had situations where some countries were thinking, would this take off? Mobile money in Mozambique still hasn't taken off the way it has taken off in Zimbabwe. We were actually faster than Kenya in 2012 in terms of getting to 1 million. We got to 1 million customers in less than 6 months. Kenya, with their 40 million population, it took them 2 years on M-Pesa. You see how different it is. But people don't talk about us because everyone thinks about M-Pesa. The things that we did, that we've done in Zim in terms of digital finance, in some countries, they probably think it can't be done. But the unfortunate thing, like Nyaradzo was saying, is we still rely on cash. She took away money from the bank account so that then when she got there, she realized it was actually better to keep it in the bank account. It's the environment, of course. We had mobile money as a currency. Remember those days on notes? You had an EcoCash rate. You had if Mkuru had you probably had a Mkuru rate. You had a Net One rate, if I'm not mistaken. One money rate, we had a transfer rate and a cash rate. Mobile money became a currency in this country. So we are actually moving faster than most people thought we were, but unfortunately because of our situation, no one really wanted to talk about us. Oh, sorry. I like this one. I like this guy. We thought about 2030. So the 2030 is SDG goals. This is where they are going to review them. Don't be political. Yes, the SDGs are going to be reviewed in 2030. But this guy, do we know this guy?
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. Because you don't know Buzz Lightyear. What is his famous statement? To infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to infinity and beyond. And what is it that we're looking for in the digital finance space? So I want to look at digital finance space, financial inclusion, like Nyaradzo was talking about, and product development. What has it done for us in this country? So, number one, what these guys, EcoCash, Mkuru, Omar, and others, including MoneyMart, myself, we are doing something, I'll talk about it. One, mobile money and digital wallets. Is Mkuru a mobile money wallet or a digital wallet? Digital wallet, isn't it? Yes. Agent banking. No one thought about agent banking in Zimbabwe until we started talking about digital finance. I think Diana knows this. I was with Diana at EcoCash when we launched EcoCash. So that's Diana over there. She's now developing softwares for you guys if you want to do finance. Tailored financial services, microcredit, micro loans. Now, when you're looking at micro loans, why I put them there is there are guys like who's from college? Anyone who's still in college? Yes. Your name? Can I call you Shaito? Do you have a bank account? You have a mobile money account?
Yes.
How many? Have you ever gone to a bank to ask for a loan? No. Why not?
Not had an opportunity where I needed to get a loan.
Oh, okay. You're well funded. Okay. Zvaitwa, as it stands right now, she can't walk into a bank and say, I need a loan. Except if it's a grant or a student loan. And she can't walk into a bank right now, even to my company, money man, and say, guys, I'm Zvaitwa, here's my ID, here's my mobile number, I want a loan. We'll tell you we don't have a record. We don't know you. Now think of a person who's using cash. We have a person who is at CSO, Sakuba market, who are probably doing cash transaction. They don't even have a record. And even if they do, they're using their pens. I will not trust them. Because you know these guys, they will tell you they have two, and they're smart. They will have one record for Zimra and one record for the financial institutions. So the Zimra one, the sales will be very low. But if you're coming from the financial sector, a 10,000 sale will be 100,000 because they need a bigger loan. So Zvaitwa can't get a loan. Why? Because there's no record of what's happening, what she's doing with her mobile phone or mobile money wallet. But now with digital finance, yes, as a country, this is where we lag behind. As a country, we're not yet there, but we're moving into that direction. Your transaction on your mobile money wallet, be it our sponsors or all of them, they should be able to create a bankable credit profile for you. So it's actually a good idea for you to start using all these. Be known. Mukuru has a microfinance bank license, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So imagine if you start using their wallet now, the moment they start giving loans, do you think they will go to another bank and say, can we have a credit history for this guy? No, they won't. They'll just check on his wallet. The debits, the credits, net of, I think we can give you 10,000. You're ready to start your own business, right? Okay, what are you studying?
Education.
Education. Yes, you can start your own school. If you want, whatever you think of, you can, as long as you have a bankable credit profile. So I put alternative credit there, and this is mainly, especially for the youth. This I always talk about when I'm talking to grade 7s or people in the university. In China, they have what they call a social score. What this does is they are looking at you. They have cameras everywhere. You know China. They even have a link to your social. Like when you put your number, you're creating your Facebook account and that. It also then communicates to all others. So if you walk into a shop, sorry, I'm going to use your name because you're the only one. Zeko walks into a shop in China during working time, she buys beer. Cameras will send information to the central database to say she's buying beer during working hours. So the social score goes down. If she helps an elderly person to cross the road, the credit score, the social score goes up. But social score and your credit score, they're interlinked. So instead of having to go to bank A, bank B, bank C to get all the information, in China it's just in a central database. This is where we want to go. So you should also be careful of the things that you say on social media. Be very careful. If you are not a socialite, you are making money out of social media. Don't be excited and start saying things that you, especially you guys who are also still sending letters for employment. I remember a case, sorry guys, I love talking. I remember a case of someone, this actually happens in America, where someone got a job, very good job, but when she then came in to sign the first day, someone then pulled a tweet from 20 years ago. She was saying nasty things about the same company that she was going to join. You see? So, yes, these are the disadvantages, but also advantages of digital. Pay-as-you-go models. I'll talk about money much. We have a solar company that is called Mo Solar. Now you can actually get your solar and you pay on a monthly basis. It's more like a loan, but you pay. If you don't pay, you're switched off. After a certain period, you have paid it, or the machine is yours. You do whatever you want with it. So there are so many pay-as-you-go models. Even as we talk about Mkuru and the EcoCash, the booths, you can give you that one and you pay until it's yours. So these were not there before digital finance. Savings, we'll talk about savings. I think it's also part of the discussion, and we've already done so anyway. But we also have, anyway, I'm taking this opportunity to market it. We have what we call digital Mkanda. This is a hybrid between a loan and savings. In short, Mkanda normally it's like a round, isn't it? This month you're giving this one, next month. But these guys, assuming these guys, they all want to buy Honda Fits. The one who is going to buy in January and the one who is going to buy in December, those cars are totally different, isn't it? So what this does is, the 12 of you save until June. Then in June, we give you a loan. Go and buy your car, right? But you continue contributing. But at least you all have the same cars. That's digital cars. So it's a hybrid between savings and loans. So alternative credit scoring, I've talked about that. What digital has also done is lowering costs and barriers. I think the guys from Mkuru will tell you that when Mkuru was launched, when was Mkuru launched, by the way? 20 or so years ago? 20 years ago. The cost of remitting to Zim then compared to now is totally different. It's now cheaper. In as much as Zimbabwe is still an expensive economy in terms of remittances because of our own situation, Mukuru would want to give us maybe 2%, but they can't because they have to ship cash from wherever to come to Zim. But the moment when we get to a point where we have enough US dollars in the economy, or maybe our ZIG is now stable, I'm sure that the remittance cost will actually go down. Online payments. I think we've all done online payments. Those who are doing online courses, you are paying online, isn't it? Yes. So what is the danger that then comes with online payments? We have what we call the cybersecurity concern. And these are the supply side. We're talking about what Mkuru, EcoCash, and Omar are doing to protect your money once it is in the wallet. Because I know the fear is now, once my money is in the wallet, there's always, instead of us worrying about those pickpockets, now there are people who are just sitting somewhere in trying to get your password, isn't it? Yes. So this is what they're doing as companies. They're also regulated, and they're encouraged to do so. So I will not go through them. Maybe I'll share the slides so that you appreciate. But implement robust security measures, regulatory compliance, educate and train stakeholders, which is what we're doing here. That's why they sponsor us. Because they want us to educate you, protect your mind, leverage technologies, artificial intelligence. In some countries, we have gotten to a stage where whatever you're doing on your wallet, the digital finance side, if you apply for a loan, the system will actually tell you you can qualify for this. And it's authorized without even human intervention. In 3 seconds, 3 minutes, you get a loan on your phone. Has anyone tried Simlon? Yes. How many minutes does it take for you to get a loan on Simlon? What data are they using to give you a loan? To tell you, you qualify for this one?
You're a VIP now. It will say you're a VIP now.
So there is a lot that they're doing in the background that we may not know. Because Because how do they tell me I can get $100, the next person 1,000? It's based on what? Digital finance. Yes. But on your side, as the users, this is what you also need to do. This is what you need to do. I will concentrate on this one. Secure online transactions. If you are transacting online on a web page that is HTTP only without an S, it's going to be a problem. Chances are you're going to lose your money. So there has to be HTTPS to be secure. And for others, you actually see a padlock. You know a padlock? Key. It shows you the transaction is secure. For those that are doing online transactions and you have cards, you have your Mkuru card, you have your Omari card, you have your EcoCash MasterCard, I would actually encourage you to use the virtual option. Omari has a virtual card, EcoCash has a virtual card. I'm not sure about Mkuru as yet, but I'm sure if they don't, it will come. I would encourage you to use the virtual card. You are adding an extra layer on protecting your money. And be skeptical about too good to be true offers. You know it. Someone just sends you an email, your relative in UK died 5 years ago and they left so much. You don't even know the person, but all of a sudden you think you actually have a relative. You see? So sometimes it's also on us. Digital finance it's not bad, but it's how we are going to handle it as individuals. Where are we going as in this space? It's not going anywhere. When I did the Commercial Business Council survey in 2020, around about 9 countries, we spoke to ministries of finance and Reserve Bank governors. They didn't want to hear anything about cryptocurrency. They didn't. Because the only place that I heard people talking about something close to crypto was in Egypt. They're like, I know we're using blockchain to do this, clearing and all that. All the other 9 countries, we want to hear about crypto. But today, in Africa, I think we have 3 countries that already have central bank digital currencies. This is crypto. So it shows that digital finance is not going anywhere. We really have to adapt. And the good thing is it's making access possible. For those of our relatives that are in the rural areas, now they can send money to EcoCash, they can send money via Mkuru, they can send money via Omar. So I think in short, this is what I wanted to share with you to say where we're going, we can't run away from digital finance. For you to have a bankable credit profile, to start your own business, you need to be using the digital side of currencies. For you to start a business, now we need a record. And also be careful of what you're sharing on social media. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Gerald. You know, I was sitting, just listening to when you were saying how you can apply for a loan online and how it becomes so simple, and you know, you get in an automatic yes or no. So the problem with us, sometimes we want to convince someone. You just want that person. Oh, I know so and so can help you out. They're available. Don't worry. We want to be relevant in the digital world. And I think it's going to take us to let go and to be open and to really embrace digital financial inclusion. Thank you. That was a great presentation. I really, really enjoyed it. Did we enjoy it?
Yes.
Really? You liked it?
Yes.
If you liked it, we're getting into an even more exciting session, one that I know you all been looking forward to. It's about our panel discussion, the future of digital finance. that's our panel discussion for today. And of course, we will have our panelists come through. We'll set up our arrangement in the front so that the panelists can come through. So I'm giving you 2 minutes to quickly check your WhatsApp, to quickly take a sip of water, to quickly do whatever as we set up for our panelists to begin their discussion. Thank you.
I'm actually thinking how we're going to do this. Please carry this thing for us. You know,
These two
this can do that.
Oh no, don't worry, they're getting up.
They're being paid for that.
They're being paid for.
Okay, so I think so.
Just move it outside. Put the chairs. It will be interesting to watch. If I can remember where I left my phone. Okay, so you don't have a presentation.
No.
You were going to talk to us. Okay, so you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's probably not just to.
No, first you'll have 5
Okay.
minutes to speak and
Okay.
everything, right?
Okay.
So, did you call someone? Did you tell them where you are? Did you tell them what you're doing? Did you tell them that they're missing out on a very important discussion around digital financial inclusion? Okay, I'm glad you're doing that. So I'd like to call upon Nyaradzo from Omari.
Yes.
Please take a seat, Nyaradzo.
Thank you.
You're going to be our very first panelist to the front. Rosa, please come through. And thanks to the background by...
She probably said that.
Yeah.
What if I want to work for?
It's not about competition, it's about collaboration, right? It's not competition, it's about collaboration. Munya is coming through. All right, as we're waiting for... Oh, you're here. Munya, please come through, take a seat. So we're going to get into our panel discussion shortly, but before we do that, I'm going to give each one of you 5 minutes just to tell us about your great products. I'll start off with you, Nyaradzo.
No, thank you very much. Fantastic to be here. I've got a lot of passion for digital finance. Maybe just a little bit about myself and my background. My name is Nyaradzo. I am the product manager for Omari Digital Lending, Insurance and Investments. So all of those digital products sit under my portfolio, and I'm glad to be here today to share with you about digital finance. Omari is of course the mobile financial services division for Old Mutual. We launched in 2023, so we are about 1.5 years old now. It's been an exciting journey, and the reason why I chose to join Omari is because it was a chance to build something from scratch. So from ground zero. My background is banking. Like Munya, I'm an economist. I somehow find myself in insurance. I don't know how that happened, but it's been a great journey. Through the Omari platform, of course, we offer the local remittance products, cash in, cash out, Visa. I think Munya spoke about our Visa card, one of the best in town. The both physical and virtual Visa card, as well as we're a network agnostic platform. That means no matter who you bank with or who your mobile service provider is, if you're Net1 or Econet, you can use the Omari platform and you can send money to any mobile wallet, any bank. I think she spoke earlier about the idea of what's called co-opetition. I think that's something that exists in the world now. If you look at Apple smartphones, do you know that the chips for Apple smartphones come from Samsung? Yes. So that's the way the world is. We believe in working with our competitors to produce better outcomes for customers. So that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nyaradzo, and it's always exciting to meet somebody who has a great passion, and it comes through as you speak. Thanks so much. Rosa, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rosa Ahmed. Unlike Nyaradzo here, I don't have a financial background. I studied business admin, and actually, I think I'm testament of in Mukuru you have a chance to grow. So my very first job, I was a tailor. I was issuing money. This is just after I had graduated. And now I'm currently the sales lead. So I'll be responsible for selling all the Mukuru products. I think we're best known as Mukuru for the cash. So we are just stepping into the digital market with our wallet that launched in December. Officially, we started trading in December, but we had our launch just last night, the official launch. So we are trying to produce a product that works with our cash-oriented clientele, because everyone wants their cash. You get your money in your wallet, you cash it out. Someone sends you an order, and the next thing you want the cash. And it's also due to our economy. And we're trying to build a product that is ideally hybrid, where you equate a Mukuru wallet transaction or money in your Mukuru wallet to physical cash. And that is my goal right now. So if you don't have a Mukuru wallet, I have 2 people to assist you here. All you need is your ID. We will register you and you officially have a wallet. And that also speaks to inclusion. So a lot of our clientele do not have proof of address. They do not have proof of employment to be in the formal banking sector and get an account. So when we speak of financial inclusion, is to speak for those people who do not qualify to get that, but they can qualify for a remittance. And all you need is your ID document, and then you will be able to meet the person-to-person limits that are regulated by the RBZ to send money locally. We also send money internationally to over 50 countries, and you can actually do that from your Mukuru wallet. Currently, even though we do not have a card as yet, we don't have a virtual Visa card, It is coming, it's in the works. So we're just slowly getting to our clientele and showing them that whether it comes in a card, it's in your wallet, it's a voucher, you have the cash, it's all Mukuru, it's the same thing. So that's where we are right now.
Great, great. So my job is done for now. I'm handing over to Nyari, who will be chairing the panel discussion. Over to you, Nyari.
Great, thank you so much, Ruby. Really amazing. I'm going to be asking our panelists some questions. And after this, I think we'll also get an opportunity to ask. And as Rosa has mentioned, we'll also get an opportunity to open wallets today if we don't have. I personally don't have all money. I'm looking forward to
That's a
having.
crime.
So I would really love to end up with that one today. But maybe my first question would be to Rosa. How has digital payment platforms changed the way we handle daily transactions?
From a cash-oriented business and from the cash economy and perspective, I think it's changed a lot over the years. You find that more and more small businesses, individual vendors are willing to take wallets. They're willing to take, I think Inbox has gained trust, EcoCash has gained trust. Omari, I've not encountered a vendor, but there's some people who will also accept, especially if you're buying from city to city, and that well, it's obviously I'm going to go and collect my cash, but that has changed the way we do business. We can purchase from Blaweyo and then they deliver it, they overnight it here, and I think it's expanded as an individual business person. It expands your clientele. You're not selling to people you see only. You can sell on Facebook, you can sell on Instagram, and it's brought a lot of opportunities. And I think the change for us as Zimbabweans is to fully trust how reliable these services are, and if the next person you're going to purchase from will accept the money you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And you actually bring an important point around businesses transacting. And in this room, we do have quite a number of entrepreneurs. I know Adrian right there, he's a mechanic. I can imagine these guys, musicians. So we do have quite a number of entrepreneurs. And so maybe my question would be to you, Nyaradzo, like what opportunities for businesses and individuals exist in the digital finance space?
I think there are two angles we need to look at it from. The first is from your involvement within the digital financial services ecosystem. So if you are a business, and I think Munya spoke about it when he presented, is to say, how do you get financing for your business, right? So you get money into your mobile wallet, you transact on your wallet. As I said, I'm currently leading the digital lending portfolio at All Mutual. And I was looking at the credit scores. I credit scored all of my staff, I think, last week. And I can see who's using my platform and who's supporting the platform simply based off the activity of their transactions. So that's one thing that we need to get right. It's not, we're not there yet, especially for SMEs. I won't lie that in this sector that those solutions exist yet, but we need to get to a level where as an SME, if you're transacting, you're a mechanic, you've got clients who pay you through Omari or Mukuru or EcoCash, we should be able to say this is your turnover, and we can give you working capital finance. So if you want to finance equipment as a mechanic, if you want to finance equipment for your business, we can give that to you. So we're not yet at that level in this economy, but that I think is something that we need to do. The reason why it's important is when you look at this country, we've got about 8 million adults, and less than 1 million of those people are formally employed. So 7 million people are operating in the informal sector, but unable to access finance. So it's very, very important that we get financial solutions for SMEs. it's not an overnight process, but something that we should work towards.
Right.
And then the second one is, as an entrepreneur, if you're a tech person, is to say there are many solutions in other markets that are provided to people like Old Mutual, Google, or EcoCash. And if you've got technical skills, I think you should be looking at solving problems that our organizations deal with. So that's typically called B2B, what's called business-to-business solutions. In banking, you'll find there are issues with reconciliations. A lot of banks have trouble, transactions fail in their reconciliation issues. As an entrepreneur, can you solve that problem for companies? Currently, I think when you look at, and I oversee investments and insurance, less than 2% of Zimbabweans invest in the stock market. Less than 2% of people have digital insurance. So my question becomes, if you're an entrepreneur, how do you solve that problem? Maybe as Old Mutual, we're not providing products that are suitable for retail mass market. Can you come in and solve that problem from an entrepreneurial perspective? If it's to insure your equipment, to insure yourself, personal liability, to say, when you work on cars, if an accident happens, do I get insurance? What kind of solutions are we getting from entrepreneurs to help solve the problems that you know exist? So I think those are the two angles that I look at it from.
Wow, I think a lot of questions are going to come to you. But let me just pause for a while and come back to you, Munya. You did touch a lot on security, security around the digital finance platforms. And so that is really one of the major concerns, I think, of individuals, that at least with my money, I know I have it. I can put it under my pillow, I wake up, I check, is it still there, I find it. But with digital finance, you know, mobile money, digital finance, wallets, the security, how secure is my money when it's in? Because it's somewhere in there, in this folding, how secure is it? Your thoughts around that?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, especially when you're talking to Zimbabweans. I think as Zimbabweans, we really have to, we want to feel it. When you have $1,000, you know, when you have $1,000 in your wallets, be it Kuru, EcoCash, or Omar, you feel like you don't have it. Somehow, I don't know, maybe it's in our nature. We want to feel it and maybe smell it. But there are risks that come with all that. Number one, like you're saying, keeping it under a mattress. I remember EcoCash back then, they had an advert where the wife said that no, the mattress is now old. And she actually bent the mattress. And there was money in that mattress, you see. So I actually think cash is more riskier now, especially in this environment where everyone is an entrepreneur and everyone is an informal trade or informal sector entrepreneur. If you are on the digital platforms that we have here and others that are not, you lose your phone, you know your money is safe. You'll find it somewhere. At least you can walk into any of our partners here and say, look, I had so much in my account. Is it still there? And you find it there. That's one thing that the comfort that you get when you use a digital platform. And I think as we are here, I just want to divert a bit to what you were saying. To say, in as much as we may not have the other things that we may want as an economy, but when they come, you're better off if you start using digital now, because when they do come, you're already somewhere. So yeah, that's my take.
Thank you. I think very important. So I get a sense that it's actually safer than holding on to cash. Thank you for that. And maybe we'll just do our last round. And Rosa, what factors should one consider before choosing a money transfer service?
Okay. I think the biggest factor is it accepted as money. So the definition of money is it's an acceptable mode of payment. So I believe back in the days, money wasn't really money. We would barter trade. And now you find that the value maybe on one platform versus cash is different, or that you've accepted a currency, I'll call it a currency, you've accepted a wallet that no one else wants, and then you have to still go and convert it to cash so you can transact with the next person. So I think that the most important thing to consider is, can I use this everywhere? So educate yourself on what you want to use it for next and which is your best option. I think you told the story about in America with cash. And because the reverse of it is what works in Zimbabwe, you could go to the market and there's tap to pay in America, but here, if it's 50 cents and you have a $1, you're leaving your entire dollar, right? But if you have it on EcoCash, you're going to pay 75 cents most likely, because the cash out fee, and when it's moved and people overstate one platform, and cash is as cash. If you get the Zig currency, again, it's all different values. So what do you want to do with your money, and in what form do you need it in? I think that's how you can choose.
Yes, very important actually. Yeah, and as you're saying, like the issue of change in Zimbabwe, and I've seen that having money in my wallet, in a digital wallet, makes it so much easier when I'm in a supermarket. At least I believe with my change, I know everything is taken care of. Yeah, you did touch on credit scores. I actually didn't think in Zimbabwe they do credit scoring. But you did mention that you do credit scoring, and you mentioned we have a loan facility, mobile digital loans.
Yes.
How does that work? Do you want to take us behind the scenes to just know how you credit score us, so that one person gets a another gets 1,000? How does that work?
I think those are trade secrets, but what I can tell you is that this has been done in other markets. I think he spoke about Kenya. Kenya pioneered this. So in Kenya, there's a digital lending product called M-Shwari, which allows people to borrow up to, I think, the equivalent roughly of $100. And what they do is they credit score you based on the consistency of your transactions, the length of time you've been with M-Pesa. So I think you have to have been a customer for 6 months. And then they look at the activity that you do on the platform. And then they're able to assign you a score, I think, based on the values and volumes that you're transacting. When you look at that, and in the era that we are now in terms of AI, I think it's it's a great opportunity, because what AI does is it can actually identify that Macbeth is a good customer or not, depending on the pattern of his behavior. So some people often, maybe they'll have this platform as loans, and the next thing they want to do is they want to manipulate the credit scoring system. But the engine that will be behind will look at how often are you doing this, what type of airtime have you been buying over 6 months, and it's very difficult to fake that kind of information, especially in an age where AI and machine learning exists, where algorithms start to learn the patterns of your behavior and behavior of other clients similar to you, and we can pick up anomalies on that. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, without exposing the secret, because I can
Yes.
imagine what Punya was saying, that in China they can actually, your social scoring has an effect on your credit scoring, and I can imagine maybe, because sometimes when you apply, the thinking is maybe all the banks come together and look at this thing and say, no, this one has a, that's just what happens in my head. But again, I think what you also said just gives us a snapshot of how it's scored.
I think it's, Munya read the case study on social credit scoring.
Okay.
And one of the most fascinating things I found about that is in China, if you don't cross the road at a zebra crossing, you get a negative on your credit scoring. So every time I drive through town, I think of the number of that was not get access to credit in our country. Yes.
Interesting. So everything is connected, and everything is digital. when using digital payment platforms. I know when you're talking, you said, let's make sure there's an HTTPS, because in the absence of it, you're getting yourself scammed. Probably that's one mistake. Any other that you want to share?
No, there are a lot. There are a lot. I remember I'll share a story that happened when I was still with EcoCash. You know, I think it was EcoCash was still new then, and people didn't really understand what it means to have a mobile money wallet. So people had a tendency of using their birth years as PIN. You see. So we had cases where the grannies will come and say, I want to do a cash out. The next thing they try to cash out, there's nothing. No, EcoCash people have stolen my money. I think you've also experienced that. So we then check and we discover that the money has already been cashed out. The message was deleted. So we asked Gogo, where do you keep your password? Who knows your password? No one knows my password. Is that, but you know, with these young guys, they have a tendency of trying things. So the first thing that they do when they get your phone, even Union, they'll just put your birth year as your PIN. And after time, especially for people who get phone. So that's one mistake that we made. And I think it's also a request to the service providers to say, instead of a 4-digit PIN, let's move it to 5.
I can go ahead of you on that.
Thank you. Let's move it to 5. So that at least if you get the year correct, there's one number that you do is, yes, that's one. Then secondly, you talked about it where we're saying when you're transacting online, the HTTPS is really important. And I'm also thinking about what they call phishing. If you have read about it. I think we need to be careful, especially on the order. If you're in a company like Nkuru, you already know the order of your emails. If you're in Old Mutual, you know how the email is. And be very careful, the commas and the dots and the spellings, the A's, people play around with that. You would think you are receiving an email from your boss when it's not coming from your boss. So as individuals, I think we also need to continuously learn. You can't be on social media just to see videos on TikTok. Also, just open up what Mkuru is saying about your security. What Omari is also saying about your security. They send messages. Your PIN is your own, do this and that. We're not involved in that. So just be aware of what's happening. There's a lot that you can do, but these are the common mistakes that we have found in the sector.
Thank you so much for that. And really, I think from what you're also saying, when you're on the internet, be very careful. Everybody is looking for an opportunity, or people are just looking for opportunities to defraud others. But yeah.
So one last one. Sorry.
Please go look another one.
Yes, I put it somewhere. I was thinking about it. If you look at these platforms that we have here, all three of them, they have what they call multi-factor authentication. And in some countries, you can actually activate it or deactivate it. I don't know if they're doing the same. But if they get to the point where you can do that, please don't deactivate. Should always have a second layer of authorization. If you're going online, it should send you a request for a PIN on your phone. Yes, if it doesn't do that, then it's suspicious. Just cancel the transaction and maybe do it. You can go cash. We'll allow you to go cash for now.
Oh goodness, thank you so much to our amazing panelists. A round of applause for them, hey? I think there's no better way than to spend a Friday afternoon learning about how to become smart with your money, because your money is your future. And like Munya said, we could be watching TikTok, but we could also be watching TikTok to learn. So this is a great way to spend a Friday afternoon. Nyaradzo, Rosa, Munya, Nyari, thank you so much for such an exciting discussion. So, it's now your turn. You think you could get away with this? They have been giving us so much knowledge and so much information. Now it's our turn to ask those questions that we've been writing down. I see the ladies have got their notebooks. Everybody has been taking notes. I know this young man here was, recording everything. So, it's time for us to ask our panelists the questions about digital finance. Who's going first? Yes.
Okay, so.
Say your name.
Shaitwa Nashe.
Oh, Zaitwa. Remember her, right? Go
Yeah,
ahead, Zaitwa.
My question would be, when you go into a shop, you want to buy, sometimes you want to use EcoCash for 1 week. Now EcoCash is down, it's not working. Is that going to be the same for, the other systems? If we want to really move into a system where we are using digital currency.
I'm gonna put somebody on the spot here. They don't want to be put on the spot, but they're maestro at everything. And his name is Maestro, and he's from EcoCash. And I think you can just say something.
Okay, thank you for the question. So as EcoCash, we're always looking for ways, or we're always improvising. So you have my word that from today onwards.
So he said, I told you he's a maestro. He's got the answers. But obviously back to the panelists, especially Munya, Rosa, and Nyaradzo. Those errors that come in, I've experienced that. But like you said, it's not happening anymore.
Okay. I think we'll hold Maestro to his words there. Like everything in life, nothing is always equal. Given that we're in Zimbabwe, electricity goes, network will dip a bit. But I believe that a lot of institutions have now put into place backup power, and sometimes the network will dip. So we'll have a Wi-Fi, and then we'll also, the tellers, they use mobile devices now, so they'll also have data to be able to assist them. Unfortunately, sometimes it does fail us, network does fail us. But I'll speak from Mukuru, said that if they say it's network, it's genuinely network. There's no other issues. And as soon as it's up, but your cash is safe always. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Rosa.
Maybe just to add to what Rosa said, when you look at the industry-wide perspective, we expect that 98% of the time your transactions are functioning, right? It's not always the case. That 2% allowance or that standard is because occasionally there are failures. As mobile money providers, what we try to do is to ensure that every solution has a backup and every backup has an alternative. So if you use Omari as an example, if you dial *707# and our USSD is down, you should be able to access WhatsApp, you should be able to access the mobile. If we're having network issues with one service provider, we should be able to switch to another one. And those are some of the mechanisms that we put in place to address failures that occasionally happen. But otherwise, 19% of the time, and I think it's the same across the other platforms, they are up generally. So it's something that we monitor on a regular basis.
Great. So it's being monitored on a regular.
Just to add that, thanks for that. Yeah. Even these guys are regulated by the central bank, so that's the standard. They also monitor how many times the system goes down. So if it then falls below the 98 that he's talking about, they have to report, or rather they will be called to report why the system is always down. So yes, downtime will be there, but it can be there for a long time. So we can't guarantee that we have 100%, but at least we get 90% from both.
I think 98 is pretty good. If you ask me, 98 is pretty good. But big.
Thank you, Rumbi, and thanks to our panelists. I'm 100% for going cashless. But my question to you would be, what are you doing to sort of engage the market to accept this reality? There are certain vendors who charge extra if you want to pay using one of your platforms, and if it's a cash price, you get a lower price. I've been to Kenya and I've used M-Pesa. So in Kenya, they actually prefer M-Pesa to cash. So what are you doing to get us as a nation at that level? Because I think that's one of the main obstacles that we probably need to deal with before we then can get everyone on board. So I'm not too sure where to go in.
I think the very first thing is to guarantee that when Jaitwa comes, right, to collect her cash, there's no network down, system down, because that then decreases the reliability or my ability to accept Mukuru if there's always issues when if I accept it as payment and I then need to collect my money or need to make the next payment because I'm then not able to. So that being put in place and building trust with our clientele, giving them the feeling of comfort that this is a reliable service and anytime that I need access to my cash, I can get it, but there's other options. But I think it comes down to as well our mindset, and which is something that will take some time for Zimbabweans to change, that physical cash is more valuable than digital cash. It's something we all go through every day. I mean, if you get into a combi, they want cash. They simply want cash. The fuel stations, some of them don't take USD swipe, some of them, it comes, I think it's a top-down kind of thing, but when they enforce it, it becomes all the more difficult to then accept that particular currency that's being forced on us. So it's building trust for whoever's using our platforms, that if you receive this, you're guaranteed to get your cash when you need it, or the next person is going to accept it, and you won't have any trouble.
Yeah. Maybe just to add on, so on to my questions, as you come in, maybe you'll be able to also just touch on that. So this is one side, thank you for that response. Then I'm also thinking at a policy level, are you doing something at that level? Because I'm thinking, if I'm a business owner, you transfer 5,000 into my account, and then I'm told you are not able to withdraw that 5,000. Maybe you get, I'm not too sure of the thresholds now, but maybe only 60% is what you are able to get. But so obviously, if I'm a business owner, I'm going for cash.
Yeah.
And you guys probably need to take a lead in advocating for favorable policies that will enable the market to accept. So maybe just also to check if there have been any efforts towards policy change, just to push for acceptance of digital currencies.
So there is a forum called the Bankers Association of Zimbabwe, and I think in which various mobile money platforms are presented, or represented rather. One point of friction that exists when it comes to mobile money or digital transactions in the country is the cost of transacting, right? I think we're all aware that there's a 2% IMT tax. And so people might choose to transact from a cash basis purely to avoid the cost of transactions. That's number one. The second one is, when you look at things from an economic perspective, banks or mobile money providers and so forth, because of the history in our economy, banks, even if you look now at bank results, banks were not making money from interest income. The reason a bank exists as a financial intermediary is to say, Macbeth has deposited his 5,000, let's lend it to someone else. And then we make interest income, and the margins on transacting fees are low. In Zimbabwe, it's almost the other way around. Banks are making money from transacting fees because historically they're from charges because they haven't been lending, right?
Yeah.
But every bank, every financial institution faces costs. At Omari, we've got costs, technological costs, salaries, electricity, etc., that we need to make sure that we pay. And so what you find is institutions price to cover their costs. So that's something that needs to change. And from a policy perspective, there are engagements to that effect to say the more stable the environment, the more we can focus on interest income as opposed to non-interest income as a source of revenue. Also, from a policy perspective, I think below $5 now transactions in this market, $5 and below, they're actually not charged. Banks are not allowed to charge. I think that took effect in the past 3 to 6 months. Yeah, so banks and mobile money players, $5 and below for transactions, they're not allowed to charge. With respect to limits, again, I think you spoke about 5,000. One of the things the regulator looks at is what's known as KYC, or know your customer information. The reason why mobile wallets tend to have very low limits is we don't have enough information of you as a customer. So we can't determine what purpose you're using the funds for. So that's why you tend to find mobile money, they're regulated to the extent that you can only transfer or have a limit of 2,000 because we don't have enough KYC information on. And one of the things that if you're doing money laundering or terrorist financing, we can't keep track of that if we don't have enough KYC information. So I think as you find, or with institutions, as we gather more information, proof of residence, salary, etc., proof of income or source of funds, then we're able to increase limits.
Wow.
I also want to put it on you see, the reason why in Kenya people pay mobile money is also because you can transfer from M-Pesa to Tigo-Pesa or Airtel money, and the cost is minimal. See, now in Zim, they are totally different ecosystem. You have the cool ecosystem where once it gets in there, it would rather not leave. Gets into Omari ecosystem, they would rather, they're in business, they would rather have it in there forever. EcoCash is the same way. One money is the same way. Why I'm putting it on the regulator is when you then introduced what we call the interoperability guidelines and put in Zim switch there as national switch, the charges that he's talking about. In as much as these guys would want to work together, yes, you find on your Omari to tell you transfer to Mkuru, transfer to EcoCash, transfer to everyone. But the cost of transferring that money, like you were saying, it becomes expensive. You would rather not. You'll be walking around, do you want EcoCash? Do you want Omari? So that at least you give them, you transfer to them, you get cash, then you move over to the next service provider. So it's something that I'll put on the regulator and also on them as the service providers, that they also have to come in to say, look, the setup that is there now is not working. We need to find somewhere. If Zim switch is going to reduce charges, the better. If they decide, no, let's get another switch, they will create their own. Some responsible also, yeah, they can advocate for that. But as it stands, yes, it's Zim switch, partly owned by the Reserve Bank and owners. But if they're not happy, they can advocate for the different switches. Or even do bilateral, where they even do away with the switch. They send direct from Google through their APIs and all that. Something that they can do.
Very interesting. I'm loving this. Any more questions? Leslie.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Rumbi and our presenters, and also maybe building on what Macbeth was saying. I was going to touch on the issue of exploitation that is happening to us as customers when we use your platforms. I think everyone here in this house will agree with me that there was a time whereby when you have, say, $15 in a digital platform, someone will say, in order for me to give you the hard cash, probably put $12 so that you can get the $10. So that confidence people is lost in the digital transformation or in the digital platforms, which I believe that through advocacy and also issue around the cost. If I have 500 today in a digital platform, I assure you that if I want to give the 5 people $100, if I use the digital platform, I'll end up giving them 98, 95. But if I have the hard cash, I'm gonna give them 500 as it is. So it's something that that has to do with advocacy. So I thought I should share around that. But you were sharing to us that digital platform or digital money is the way to go. How can I partner with the system? Obviously, I cannot start my own platform, but really I need to partner with the system. How do I go about it? Because I cannot say, oh, you guys is year 3, we can register with you, we can overwhelm you. How can some of the guys, someone might be at the college, can think, say, oh no, I just want to partner with Kuru, with Omar, with EcoCash, probably as an agent or as a partner. How do you go about it?
Okay. Just for clarity, the partnership is from business perspective. You want to become an agent to cash in, cash out? Is this correct?
Yeah, something like to partner with is.
Okay, so I'll give that to Nyara. We do not facilitate the association.
No, not necessarily to speak out how to do it, but how can you say, us as Mukuru, probably you cannot get to my village, but we have Nesbit whom you taught about your product, and I'm willing to be part of your story. How can I be part of
You
that?
can go outside and register as an agent. It's really that simple, right? I think the requirements, like I said, KYC, it's an important thing, so that the government knows to trust you. And because you have to be registered agent, you have to be vetted to make sure that you're not going to steal the public's money. But there's a list of requirements. If you are in a rural area, I think the requirements, the regulators actually make them more lenient, so that it facilitates flow of money throughout the digital finance ecosystem. So as Omari, Maestro is a good friend of mine. EcoCash, the same thing. You can actually register as an agent. I think there's almost no streets that you walk around where you don't see an EcoCash agent. Right? The reason is because that list of requirements exists, whether it's through a website or corresponding with the team, you can get that information. And then, just maybe to come to your point about exploitation, I think we touched on it when we spoke about the issue of charges. The reason why you said 98 and so forth is because there's an issue to do with pricing, right? That we can't run away from. But that pricing, the reason why that pricing exists is against the background that I've given. That we're not making money, let's say, from interest income. We make money from transactional charges. And also, we have costs passed on to us as a mobile service provider. Whenever you access Omari or EcoCash or whatever, do you know that you pay for the time that you use to dial that USSD code? So we pay a service provider for that ability to do that. We pay for SMS and so forth. That's why we need to charge. But if we add interest income, if we're lending, if you're taking insurance, if you're investing, then the sources become multiple, and we can bring down the cost of transacting.
I think on partnerships, there's something that he also mentioned when he was talking about the things that they cannot do as all mutual group. I think there's a partnership that you should also be thinking about to say, look, there's this data that is sitting with Omari, and there's this data that Mukuru is sitting on. What can you do with that data? What products can you offer? I think this is the partnership that you should be thinking about to say, yes, already Mukuru is a remittance company, local and international. They are local and international as well. The data that is being, that they have, what other products can you add to their already existing products? They might not even be thinking about them. And I will tell you, I think the age that we are in, this is why we are sitting here with EcoCash, Mukuru and Omar. 5 years ago, this would not happen. These guys will not talk to each other. Never. They will never be on the same desk. But now there's an appreciation, like you were saying, co-opetition. We cooperate and we compete. Yes, we compete where we must and cooperate where we should. That's exactly what needs to happen. So if you have an idea that wants to use the data, go to them. And some already have open APIs where they will give you, after test it. If they are happy, they can partner with you. Can record it. And the musicians should also talk about ticketing with this guy
Yeah.
online.
No, definitely. I think maybe just to come to your point, we've got, I'm dealing with a guy, former Old Mutual. The guy works now for the INSCO group. Absolutely nothing to do with finance anymore. But he runs one of the online ticketing systems, which is used for races. And what he's done is integrated to Omari. I'm not sure if he's Guru, but I think Cash as well. And what that does is it allows people, if you want to register for a race on the weekend, you pay through his platform. So he's taken his business and allowed people to make digital payments through his business. So that's just an example of an entrepreneur who's running his business. Yeah, that's it.
Oh my goodness. Great questions, great conversations. And 2 words. So I want you to do a couple of things for me today. I'm not sure when you're going home, when you get home. I want you to go onto the WhatsApp channel for My Money Project. I want you to go on the Facebook page. I want you to go on the YouTube channel and put 2 words. Hashtag competition, competition,
Yes.
and trust. Those 2 words. And make sure you get to follow those channels. So as we are rounding off, I would love for each one of you to just share, if we don't have any more questions. Nyaradzo, you go first. Tell us how we can access your products. Where can we access your products? The same for you, Rosa, and the same for you, Nia.
Thank you so much. So if you're not registered on Omari, you can dial *707# on any mobile network to register. That gets you a dual currency USD and Zig wallet on one mobile number. And you can fund your wallet by cashing in at many partners, including Spar, Cabs, TM Pick and Pay, OK, etc. You can also get a virtual Visa card through the *707# platform if you go to option 9 next and select option 2 card services. You can generate a virtual Visa card. We also have our physical Visa cards which are available in Spar outlets or Cab branches for $5. So you get that $5 Visa card, you can make international payments online. You can also use it to swipe locally. All you need is a copy of your ID. Please, when you do open the Omari wallet, ensure that you provide us with a copy of your ID, because that's something we need. And I think I've mentioned the issue of KYC, something the regulator is quite passionate about, ensuring that all customers have KYC. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Rosa.
So you can self-sign up. You're going to learn a lot of short codes. 707 646 *646#, or you can save our WhatsApp number. I have a QR code, you can scan it, it will open the chat. And then again, you need your ID. So I have a couple of people who can assist you to register, but you need your actual physical ID. Picture of a picture will not be allowed to open your wallet. It will be rejected. This is for your own security, hey, because I could take my ID, your ID, put my picture, and if I lay it out nicely, photocopy it, or take another picture, I become somebody else. So, and then we have a double layer for KYC, where we also do a selfie ID component. So when the agents are doing it, it might be uncomfortable, but if you do it yourself, same thing, where you also have to, we want to verify that you're the ID holder. So you get a picture with your face and your ID documents again. It takes all in all 5 minutes, and you have you'll be able to send international and local transactions, but to receive you don't need to sign up or to be registered. So I think a lot of us have received money and then we have over 300 booths and branches countrywide. I think we do have booths and branches. I think last night at the lodge we have one at Tongogara refugee camp in the spirit of financial inclusion. So at the moment we don't have agents, it's our own network of branches that we supply cash. So So we guarantee that there will be cash when you go to collect. Yes, I mean, if you want your Mukuru wallet, which has the $2,000 monthly limit, you can just activate your wallet. Once registered, option 3, you can do it yourself, just verify your ID number. We have a 5-digit PIN. But don't put your birthday. Don't put your birth year, because when we did the KYC process, we've inputted that. So the system will automatically pick up and it will tell you it's not strong enough. I did it, but it's a 5-digit PIN. So there's a lot of elderly people on day, but I'm like, but that's the easiest for them to remember. So if you'd like to get registered today, they can assist you to get registered today, or you can always go to any Mukuru booth and branch, Metro Peach and Brown, Gain Cash and Carry, select Spar stores, and OK Bonwashi stores. Thank you.
Okay, I'm the guy who will support your business to grow. For those that are entrepreneurs in here, you want loans, you can come and see me. If you don't want to see me, again, it's the USSD code, *791#. *791#. You will find Money Mat there. And I think in a few months, we'll be sitting with these guys on the same platform. We have our own wallet as well. And we're doing this for you guys, especially the entrepreneurs, the MSMEs. Yes, we want to be able to lend to you based on data. So start using all these platforms. At some point, we'll all be we'll have one data center. We're doing it in India, where if you're, sorry, I'm talking about something that is not but this is the idea. When you want to move from one bank to another, all you need is just your ID. Everything else is moved from that bank to the new bank. Yes, that's where you want to go. Advocate, like I was asking. We'll continue to advocate. You can't be like every time you want to open an account, you move that account. It doesn't work. So this is where we want to go as a business, and I also hope to go into the industry. But for your loans, the savings, I talked about Mukando. Those that want to get married on credit.
I know if you
Those want to buy cars, they always come to me and we'll talk.
Munya is the victor of SMEs. If you want money, go and see
go
what.
Yes.
No, but I have to say this is really great. You know, the level of information that we've gathered today. And obviously, how many people are going to see Munya? How many people are going to see Nyaradzo? You see. And this wouldn't have happened if you had not come here this afternoon. So thank you very, very, very much. I know my dear friends from EcoCash, you know their short code. You don't even need, you can say it in your sleep, *153#. Did you know that? That it moved from *151. Yeah, so now you know. And obviously, they'll also be available to get to support you with all your digital financial needs. Thank you so much, Pan. You've been so great. I'll tell you a funny story. So, Nyaradzo and I have been talking on WhatsApp. Never met. It took me a minute to figure out. That's Nyaradzo.
It's a digital.
It's a digital.
Yes, it's such a digital world. You'll talk, yeah, so how can we make our program stronger? Let's try to set up a meeting. We've been trying to do it for a long time. I think today is the day. Thank you so very much, panel. And thank you so much for the great service that you are giving to us and continue advocating for us, especially those rural communities that are way down there in Lotito, where Nisbet is from. Does he look like he's from Lotito there? So that they also are included in this amazing journey. And we can actually get to start building our credit scores, our digital financial scores. Social scores, Zimbabwe. You know that? Thank you so much. So rounding off today, giving us our vote of thanks is the amazing Nyaradzo. Over to you, Nyari.
Wow, let's give up. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming. Before we go, I just wanted to appreciate somebody here. This guy is amazing because he reached out to me and he said, I want to support whatever you're doing. He is a student, doctor. He is doing medicine at the University of Zimbabwe. I want to appreciate you, Thomas. Please come, Thomas Committee. I want to give him something. Yes, just to say thank you. He has done a lot of work. I appreciate you. Yes, and I also want to appreciate our speaker today. I know Munya, we come a long way actually, from the days when he was at EcoCash, and now, and Kingdom, yes, and now we sit on the technical working group for Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, together with Gladys. I don't know if she's still in, she's gone probably, but I want to appreciate him, and also just say thank you for yes, so I think we've heard that we can still meet with these guys. I want to register, so good to see you guys. But please don't leave without that. Make sure you've also registered. I don't know where our register is, Ruby. Just make sure you're registered. It will allow me to share these slides that we had. But I also want to appreciate our amazing panel, especially you, Rosa. I think for the generous support, without which you all would have paid to come. But we want to appreciate them today. And Nyaradzo, it was very short notice, I can imagine. But he came, but his insights, very invaluable. We cannot put a dollar sign to that. Really, we appreciate it. I think and she has gone out, the amazing Ruby Moyo. Some of you will know her from the ZBC, but she's here with us. She just graciously offered to be MC, and she does a great job with what she does. I think you agree. And lastly, the amazing videographer. Yeah. He says, today he said to me, I'm more of a film maker than I am a photographer. But I think he's been doing a really excellent job. We will vouch for that when the pictures finally come in. But for now, I think we want to appreciate him. And allow me to appreciate you all for coming, without which all of this would be in vain. So you made all of this worthwhile. I don't know if Lulu and her caterer, they are here. They prepared delicious snacks for us, and we really want to thank them. So I may have missed someone, but the truth is I appreciate all of you for coming. We meet again in the next one. Actually, I had someone throw in an idea and says, want to buy a house. So can the next one be around mortgage financing? So indeed, it will come. So we will have that one at the next workshop. So thank you all. Let's make the next.
I have the register. If you haven't registered, please, I'm here.
Yes.
Please, I'm right here.
No, thank you.
It tells your age.
I'll have
Can't wait to.
Camilla, may I have your card?
Yes, sure.
Do you work with the
Yes, yes,
Tell them I said hi.
Please don't forget to pass by me and register, please.
Does anyone want to be registered for Mukuru? Matthias? Huh? Matthias. Yeah. The camera just might. So it will open our WhatsApp chat and then you can put in some registration.
Oh, what kind of business?
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet
Thank you so much, you guys, for coming. I think it is. I need to stop it. It's live, so I don't know. I don't even know what to do after this.
To just cancel it.
Oh, okay. You were facilitating the payouts. Okay.